So been able to get a lot of work on third downs, been productive there. What's that been? What was that experience like? Being part of that third down group, and what kind of impact do you think you've been able to make so far?
Yeah, it's been good overall. I think we did a pretty good job last week. It starts with first and second, obviously, and then when you get to those critical situations, I think it's just about execution. I think it's something to build off for next week.
Obviously expectations are high, but in terms of when you looked at the film with the pressure, kind of what was it more than were you guys more successful than you thought you would before first game? When you looked at the film, what jumped out at you?
Yeah, no, definitely. I think you fall to the level of your training. So I think for us, that was the biggest thing, is just making sure that we put an emphasis on it. We spend obviously most of our second day of the pads on third down critical situations. So when we kind of came to it, it was comfortable. We knew what we were doing. We knew what kind of protections we were going to see. Same thing this week. We have a good, comfortable feeling about what's going to be thrown at us, and then obviously it's just about going out, executing, and doing what we got to do.
How much did you guys stress this offseason getting to third down, right? Because it was just in third and long situations. That just wasn't the case a ton last year. How much of a focus was it this offseason?
Yeah, definitely. I think it was our main point of emphasis, actually, to be real with you, because I think it starts with obviously controlling the line of scrimmage. That puts us in, and it gives us an opportunity to obviously play on third down. So that was the best thing for us, on Thursday, because it allowed us to obviously get to those situations, and I feel like we did a good job getting off on third down.
How did you kind of emphasize that during training camp, those situations? Just was there more to focus, or just what were y'all doing to kind of make sure you were at your best in those situations?
It was a focus. Stopping the run. I think that is our focus as a defense, and it'll continue to be our focus going forward from each week to week. So for sure.
Sebastian, you got to go against this Wisconsin offensive camp a lot. I don't know if you noticed the other night, but nine different guys touched the ball in the first two series, and you saw a lot of that. How difficult is that to deal with?
Yeah, the versatility of the offense is something that we thought coming into it was that gives them a lot of different people, like you were saying, ball carriers, a lot of different people touching the ball. You know what I mean? So that makes it harder on the defense, and it's a lot to game prep for. And I think they do a really good job of just multiplicity in terms of what they're doing.
They do a good job of disguising it too.
Yeah, definitely, for sure. You know what I mean? A lot of crack toss, a lot of funky reverses, and they take their shots. You know what I mean? And I think that's something that coming to this week, they're going to start to open it up a little bit more.
When you're facing a team like this, it kind of took its lumps over the weekend. How important is it to get off to a fast start? You kind of try to impose your will as early as possible.
Yeah, it's critical. You know what I mean? We see every opponent as a threat, as a challenge, and it's just about attacking it the same way. You know what I mean? Whoever it is, we got a long road ahead of us. So I think we're coming into this week with the same preparation, same mindset.
Do you feel like this move to outside linebacker has been really natural for you, or were there any ways you had to kind of retool yourself, retool your game in order to make this fit?
Yeah, no. I have a little bit of background in it, playing it early in high school, but I think I give a lot of credit to these coaches. Coach Mitch specifically, just helping me in terms of the techniques and fundamentals that come down when you're on the edge, that is required and asked of you when you're playing the position. So I give a lot of credit to him, and then obviously Coach Fick seeing that in me, understanding that when guys go down, he saw me as a player who could step up and then obviously fill that role, and I've kind of just taken it full on.
What about that position do you enjoy as opposed to your other positions that you played before?
Yeah, I'd be lying if I said just getting to the quarterback. You know what I mean? It's something I think I have an ability to do, and kind of like I said, when you get to those critical situations, I feel like execution is the biggest thing for me, and understanding different from inside backer. One thing that they've done a lot with me is just moving me around, allowing me to feel comfortable in all different types of roles. So I think it only helps me that I've had the background at inside linebacker and now moving down to the edge.
You were a big recruit for Paul Chris, June Leonard, and their staff, and ultimately you went to North Carolina. What was just different about Wisconsin, maybe the second time around, aside from the new staff, that you wanted to transfer to?
Yeah, obviously Coach Fick is just a defensive-minded guy. It's something that he takes a lot of pride in, and understanding when he has his eyes on you, that's something that was big for me. I understood that was something that when I came over here, defense was a critical point of what makes Wisconsin football and what gives it its brand. So that was very appealing to me, and obviously it being close to home and understanding I have been here, I've been around, I know what this this program's about, and I kind of just wanted to embrace that.
Sebastian, these counting stats, TFL, sacks, interceptions that we saw on Thursday that we didn't see a ton of last season, do you view those as overrated, or are they something that is an indication of what you guys can do the rest of the season as a defense?
Yeah, I wouldn't say overrated, just something that gives us a strong start. You know, I think for us, like whether it's sacks or not, I think one thing that Coach Fick tells us is just affecting the quarterback is just huge. You know, sometimes that sack can be kind of overrated, but that's been a focal point for us, especially on the edges, is making sure that, you know, we create negatives and takeaways, you know, so.
Depth was kind of a focal point for you guys. Did you sort of feel the impact that some of that rotation can make in terms of, you know, keeping your body fresh on Thursday?
Yeah, no doubt. I think that's the good part about our room. I think Coach Mitch is doing a really good job, you know, going and getting guys, you know, who felt could add to the room in terms of just versatility. There's all different types of body types in that room, things that all different types of people can do, and I think that's been very beneficial, as you guys can see, and I think it will be going forward. You know, one guy go down, next guy up.
Everybody good here?